Anyway, to the hardcore stuff. As always, I guess I have a freaking festive playlist here that I usually listen to whenever I want some chill music, I guess. Blah! My freaking blade mouth is beginning to die out. Hopefully nothing goes horribly wrong. Just trying to play music on Spotify, hopefully. And hopefully all the audio channels are working fine, because for whatever reason... did I address this, like, on Wednesday? I don't know if I ever addressed it, but, like, for whatever reason, the, all the audio channels somehow, like, managed to just reset itself, like, on Wednesday or something like that. So I was kind of worried that the entire OBS setup is going to be broken, but hopefully everything should be fine, I guess. Yes, I know 1.19.3 is already out. I haven't updated to that version yet because I'm a lazy idiot. And also, I don't really care about updating just yet until all the mods I use are completely updated. So, yeah, that's all I need to care about. Do you have any full beacons? I mean, all the beacons are fully maxed out, so if that answers your question, all the beacons I use are always maxed out, so there you go, I guess. Alright, so last stream, I was contemplating about, like, terraforming the frick out of this area over here. We need to yeet off all the soul sand, or... yeah, it's mainly just soul sand. Eat off all the soul sand, kind of free up a little bit more vertical space over here, and kind of occupy this space as part of this terrace, I guess. I do need to be very careful, though, because this is a soul sand valley area, and gas are just going to spawn in like the absolute fricks they are. But at least we can actually kind of work this type of area into, like, the city, I guess. No idea how it's going to look like, but it's probably going to be better than having it just look like that, I guess. Anyway, I need some black glass, or else we're just not gonna have that fit in with the, well, I haven't any of the spawn-proof areas, like, fit in with the environment a little bit. Where the frick is my shulker boxes? How come I'm already out of freaking fireworks? What the heck? I must have left it somewhere over... no, not over here. God, there's so much bloody terraces already. I'm already getting, like, already getting dizzy with the amount of, like, places that I've already been to. Jesus Christ. How you doing, by the way, lol, Cocos? Oi, mate, good day. Hope you're doing pretty nice. What the frick am I doing right now? And also, Infinity says, Fox, what do you expect to die in your world? I don't freaking know. And Infinity has thrown in, like, a lot of wacky-ass questions. Some of them I just don't understand if he knows that we've been playing on this hardcore world for quite some time, but anyway. But anyway, well, let's just quickly, deal with, like, all the terraforming stuff we still need to do. Like, I remember, like, saying, like, some time ago that all the terraforming stuff is already done. But no. No, I left so much blade things left behind. Sorry, I left so much, like, not so much, but, like, a bit of, like, terraforming stuff behind because I'm a lazy freaking idiot. So, at least I'm doing it now, so at least I don't feel too bad, I guess. Alright, we need to get rid of all the soul sand, or, yeah, both the soul sand and the layers of black glass I placed down over here. So we need to flatten down everything here first. Once we're done with this area, we can then start working on, or once we're done with the roads and terraforming on these areas, we can then continue on with our building layout plans, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, hopefully everything goes pretty smoothly. And I swear to God, if I get killed by a ghast, I'm gonna be very, very mad by the end of this, maybe. I have no idea. I mean, the chances of dying to a ghast once you get pretty overpowered in the game is pretty low still, so I don't know. Going to bed in 20 minutes is lol Cocos. No worries, mate. You get some sleep then as soon as you can. I mean, everyone needs to get some sleep. I keep forgetting this, like, playlist I have has both, like, chill tracks and very energetic tracks. So the mood shifts are going to be very extreme in some ways. PM or AM, I don't know. I mean... It's pretty easy to know if it's AM or PM, depending on whether the sun is out or not. If the sun is out, then, like, yeah, if the sun is out, then it's pretty much AM. But if it's PM, then it's probably already night, I presume. I don't know exactly which time or what place in the world you live in, but I'm gonna presume, since it's 20 minutes till you need to get some sleep, if I have good faith that you're having a good sleep schedule, then it's currently PM. Then again, I don't know how people mix up between AM or PM, but anyway. Just get rid of all of this. I swear to God, if a gas spawns in right now, I'm gonna be so freaking mad. Okay, anyway. Still need to excavate all these glass bits. I mean, this is what I yeah, this is what I actually deserve, because I placed them all down for spawn proofing until I realized, oh frick, I need to like terraform this area after like a few months after placing all of these. So this is all my fault. I deserve having to do all this bloody slow process of breaking glass. Amazing. Alright, anyway. I need to get rid of all of these. I need a shovel, actually. Didn't I not have like a shovel? Before, but I think, or like a shovel in my hotbar. I think I swapped it out with the axe when I was working on some of the cliff faces over there, or excavating some of the cliff faces with some stem trees over there. So yeah, I definitely swapped that out some time ago, I guess. But I remember like using like a silk touch shovel at some point, just dealing with like all the glass around somewhere. Oh, my poor brain. Okay, let's go and fix this all over here. After midnight is AM, afternoon is PM. Which is a pretty good rule of thumb, or pretty much like if it's the afternoon, it's PM, but if it's... Sorry, if the sun is out and it feels... well, I don't think actually that would work very well in terms of temperature. But usually, like, if you're struggling to know whether it's like 9 AM or PM, just look at the sun. It's pretty easy to, like, tell what's morning and what's, like, evening, I guess. Unless you somehow are nocturnal, I guess. So it depends. Okay. I'm not too sure if I want to reach up towards this area over here. But considering that we have like all this space, we can kind of, do I want to utilize all the space behind me? I don't even know. Or not behind me, like in front of me right there. Yeah, like, we have a small sort of like cavern here that we could kind of exploit, but then again, what building is going to be fitting over here? I have no idea. Oh well. Might as well take that as an option for us to work on something, maybe. I mean, more options are the better, I guess, even though the city's already big as frick as it is already. But whatever. Nothing wrong with adding a little bit of extra scale to this freaking city. Anyway, my class is free time, and I'm just watching their stream. Amazing. Free time in, like, classes is just pretty much, like, basically your teacher's just trying to, like, fill in, like, all your class time, because it's still mandatory for like for some like schools right now to still have like classes, I guess. Is that the right word? Yeah, for especially if you're like someone who in their first years of like high school and whatnot, because they're all obligated like by the government to keep like teaching like students despite their exams and all that stuff being over. So it's kind of a chill period, but also just questions, why the frick are you still at school? Like, why are we still at school if nothing as important is happening? Gotta love dealing with the education system like that. Last day of high school, Pog. At least you have a nice sort of, like, holiday to deal with. Oh god, it's a courier post. Oh god, I could see the postal van that has arrived in the vicinity. As long as the postman does not open or knock on the door or ring the annoyingly festive doorbell that my dad insists on like using, because it's literally the what jingle it is. I try to like phase it out of my memory. We wish you a Merry Christmas freaking jingle on our doorbell. Then we should be fine, but my dad has a lot of ways of trying to make things even more and more like unbearable to live in terms of this house. Okay, anyway, let's keep going and fixing up all these areas over here. Let's leave the package. Okay, thank god, the courier post has left the package. I mean, I was expecting a package. I have to order something from, like, Amazon.com.au anyway. Need some, like, cables and books anyways for something. Not for school-related purposes, but whatever. I just realized I just dumped all the soul sand that I don't need. And I need soul sand over here to... Anyway, I'm gonna deal with that soon. Alright, let's go over here. Magnus apparently doesn't use, or in Croatia, you apparently use 24-hour time, which is interesting. I mean, then again, 24-hour time is not a bad time system. It's just, I feel like people just don't know how to really... I mean, as long as you're able to, like, let people learn, like, 24-hour time, like, especially in elementary, then it should be completely fine. But some people can have, like... the best way I can think about it is like math problems with calculating time in 24-hour time and stuff like that for whatever reason, and that's pretty prevalent whenever I like say, oh, it's like 2,300 hours here in New Zealand, and they're like, what do you mean 23 hour? So it's kind of interesting, I guess, but still pretty cool though. Chechnya, where I live in my country as well, apparently you also use 24-hour time, which is fair, I guess. Then again, it's also still pretty easy to convert between like AM and PM, because technically anything above like 1200 is usually PM, and anything above or below 1200 is usually AM, which is a pretty good rule of thumb. But yeah, it depends though, it really depends. Anyway, chill vibes as always. Okay, well now we need to flatten all of these areas off. We might as well open this area a little bit so we can have a little bit of extra space for buildings over here. That'll look pretty nice, I guess. Hopefully. Let's see. Just make sure everything is all looking pretty good over here. I need to get rid of the stem tree real quick. Or a little bit of like stem logs over here. Despite this being Stardew Valley music, this really has a festive theme to it. I mean, then again, some of like Stardew Valley's soundtracks are really nice and like seasonal, I guess. So they fit pretty well with like any sort of like major festive sort of theme, I guess. Depending on what the season is. All of Europe besides Britain doesn't use AM or PM? I know for a fact that there's like a lot of like viewers from like other countries, especially in Eastern Europe, that use AM and PM. So I don't know about that. Also, I'm doing this completely and utterly wrong. Holy frick, I'm so bad. Okay, let's fix all of this. Do not spawn in any guests. That'll be really inconvenient if you do spawn in. Yeah, most likely people still use AM and PM. I think it's just only some parts of lower Europe, I think, or not lower Europe, like Southern Europe probably has like a bit of a different time system, I think. Alright, fill in all these gaps over here. I still need to excavate all of these areas a little bit, just to tidy things up a little bit, I guess. Holy frick, I'm repeating myself. Hey Nadari, hope you're doing pretty well so far still, mate. Alright, fill this area in. Yeah, we're gonna need to excavate a little bit of these areas here. So we'll quickly deal with that then. Alright, looking pretty good. Yeah, I need to fix up all of this. Oh my gosh. This is going great. You knew that excavating blocks is such a pain in the arse to try and get right. Alright, let's see. I don't have any red glass with me, which is not great, because I need red glass to cover up the rest of these areas over here, or else gas are just going to be plentiful all over the place. I need to quickly go and get the stash pretty soon. We don't need all these soul sand, or soul soil, or any of the soul sand blocks for now, so we can throw those away. We'll need to open this area up so we can try and utilize whatever space is in this cave, I guess. Just when I thought like all the terraforming stuff is done. Oh well. I still can't realize what you are building. I mean, you can still do !project or !building to know what we're working on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would definitely say like text or like writing down like what my ideas are for our build doesn't really do justice about what like the build is in general. But it is a sort of like good synopsis or sort of like a summary, I guess, of what the entire city's idea or the build's idea is in a nutshell. But if you don't have a very imaginative like mind, it is going to be pretty hard for you to picture it. So I don't know what else to say about that, honestly. Let me just fix up all of these areas. Oh my freaking god. Just trying to make things look neat and keep over, like, excavating some areas here. This is so whack. Okay, I need to actually, like, focus a little bit just to make sure that I'm not over-digging some of these areas, because so far I think we're pretty much at the limit on how much we can really excavate for this sort of, like, weird cave area, I guess. God, I can't articulate shite. I have no idea what that is, Cocos. Fattens instead of frick. Okay. Okay, that's not going great. I always keep sitting cross-legged, which is not really comfortable. So I really need to, like, kind of, like, make sure I'm, like, a nice, comfortable position. And so far I need to stop myself with the habit of, like, cross-legging myself. I've already been noticing that, like, a lot whenever I, like, do streams nowadays. I just cross-leg myself whenever I sit down. And as a result, my legs, and specifically my thighs, get really, really sore after a while. So I really need to stop doing that. Okay, we can clean this area up a little bit. This just avoids, like, any major chances of, like, mobs spawning in. Alright, there we go. Can't even speed bridge across. But, I mean, then again, what's even the point of speed bridging? Especially in, like, 1.19 when you have, like, Swift Sneak on. God, it's such a time saver just, like, getting all over the place nowadays. Especially if you're, like, working on these scaffolding areas here. Okay, that looks a little bit more approachable to deal with. I might as well open this area up just a small bit. But yeah, that looks pretty spacious. No idea what's gonna fit over here, but might as well be an entire building, I guess? I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, throw that away for now. Probably store all the reserve netherrack in case we need to use them again. How much glass have I placed down? Probably around like 400,000 the last time I've checked. So I don't really know the exact number, but we could double check real quick, I think. I just placed it down right over here. 169,000 red glass, plus the other pieces of glass. I have no idea, honestly. But yeah, it's not as much as I had thought, considering that we like placed down a crap ton of glass around through this entire nether, I guess. So I don't really know what else to say about that, honestly. Okay. Just quickly, like, layer this area up with some red glass. Do not spawn in any gas, please. Okay, it's just skeletons. Okay, you can all perish, thank you very much. Alright, just layer this all up with some red glass. And then once we're done with that, we can add some pathways around the edges over here. And then, hopefully we can start work on the building plans again. Unless something stops on our way. Yeah, I know, rookie number, I know, right? 169,000 blocks a place. Pfft, that's just amateur freaking like numbers. Wait until we reach like 1,000,000 blocks place. Gotta love Hyper Potion's music. Really had that sort of like 8-bit melody sort of like feel to it. Sounds pretty nice in some ways. I can see a lava freaking thing somewhere. Like right over here. We can kind of block it anyway, so it should not be a big problem. I would doubt this is the world record for the most glass placed. Yeah, glass placed in general, I guess. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 so? I'm so sorry if I can't pronounce your name correctly, but hope your day's been doing pretty nice so far, so now, I think. Hope your day's been doing pretty nice. Welcome to the stream. Alright, anyway, let's go over here. The Italian pronunciation is so no problem. Yeah, I pretty much suck when it comes to like a lot of like foreign name pronunciations. So, yeah, apologies for that. But I hope you're doing pretty nice so far, so noun. I think so noun is a pretty good name, actually, to just say all the time, I think. Paradise Island motif number 1. Real love this ambience track, actually. It's really, really nice. Alright, looking pretty alright, I believe. I don't know if this area should be occupying a building of some kind, because this is a very narrow sort of area to work with. But you know what, I'm just gonna frick it and just get rid of this stupid, like, slab of netherrack here. Feels kind of weird. But then again, it would look very unnatural just having a flat wall, but I don't know what else to really say about that. I mean, that would make sense, Cocos. I mean, that it does sound pretty much like what I presume is like a foreign, like, pronunciation for coconut of some kind. Alright, just double checking that everything looks pretty alright. This looks so artificially flat, but then again, it kind of fits well for some reason. I don't know why. So, I guess I can't really be too picky around through there. Alright, let me just quickly do some more roads, and then hopefully everything would align pretty well. Unless it doesn't, then I'm gonna cry. Anyway. Do I want to keep the bones? I'm gonna skip the bones. I might need bones for more white glass later on, but at the same time, I think we still have like plenty of bones we can keep using. Did you do some great builds of some kind? I mean, I'm currently working on one right now, I guess, so that's what we're working on. Some of these Central and Southern Europeans. Very interesting. This is definitely, I don't know if the time zone, like, or like the stream schedule is really fitting for like people watching from those places, I think. Which is really funny, considering that like a lot of people in the past complained to me like my previous stream times were extremely unfriendly for those living, especially if you like live in like North America and stuff like that. And then when I do streams for like North Americans and whatnot, they just don't arrive. So like, what the frick am I supposed to do? If people are just not gonna keep coming in anyway in the first place, what's even the point? Even if I like stream at like a much more friendlier time, and they just don't arrive, what the frick am I supposed to do then? So freaking whack. Alright, anyway. So yeah, let's do like a bit of like an inland sort of pathway first, and then we have like a bit of a turn to the, not the right, the left, and then it will look alright from there, hopefully. So that way we can have like some sort of like a pathway around through the edge over there afterwards, so we'll see. You get some sleep then, little Cocos. Where am I from? I live in New Zealand. So technically it's already like 10 AM here in New Zealand, so it's currently in the morning. Whereas people in Europe, it's currently the evening. And in America, it's supposed to be like midday. Or afternoon, actually. Or even the morning in some places, especially if you live in like Western America. And for whatever reason, that's just not appealing to anybody watching the streams. Like, oh, the time zones are friendly now? Nope, I'm just gonna do something else, which is a bit of a bra moment. If this is not better proof that, like, catering to time zones does not necessarily mean that you'll get your viewers back, this is the proof. Oh well. Time for some chill vibes, I guess, considering that the chat's gonna be pretty much like chill or dead as always, so I'm not gonna be too surprised about that. Okay, so we need to build a pathway starting probably around through here. Nice sort of like, I mean, it's not really a subtle right angle pathway, but whatever. It'll work. Maybe it's too friendly. We were talking about Americans here. Maybe? But then again, it's basically a lose-lose situation, you know, where, like, if you stream in, like, a much more friendlier time zone, they just don't arrive, but if you stream in a very unfriendly time zone, they just complain to you that it's unfriendly. So, like, what the frick am I supposed to do? Like, stream in a much more friendly time zone. Sure, here you go, and then no one arrives, and then, It's really just mixed messaging that just makes us creators very, very confused to, like, get feedback and get the right sort of, like, thing to deal with. And that's really pretty much, like, the biggest issue when it comes to, like, very public feedback. It's that, like, there's, like, many different types of audiences that you have to account for. And you know you cannot satisfy all of them, but even if you're trying to satisfy one of them, they might just not give you the right type of feedback or the most accurate type of feedback. So you have to be selective about what is the most appropriate or more reliable source of feedback that you can like rely on in terms of like making your work slightly better and all that stuff. Which makes me like pretty much baffled about like people saying, oh, some developers or like some content creators aren't taking our feedback into consideration when their feedback is complete and utter garbage. So yeah, that's just a little bit of like a bit of a huge limitation when it comes to like viewer or player feedback all the time. So that sometimes it's not really the best type of feedback that you would need to tend to either. Koru guy says, hi, I'm watching the stream while playing in my world. Hope you're doing pretty nice so far, Koru. And hopefully your hardcore world is doing pretty nice, or your Minecraft world in general is doing pretty well. Alright, let's see. Okay, so pretty much like the road here looks pretty... yeah, I can kind of dig with this sort of like sort of road over here. No, not too much to really say about it, I would say. Alright, anyway, with that sorted out, let's start working on some actual buildings around through here. Because we've kind of neglected around touching these areas for quite some time. Actually, we haven't even touched this terrace since yeah, this specific terrace whatsoever yet. And I should probably do something about it, considering that we already have a pathway that's already like settled over here. So, oh well, we might as well do something about this before I lose my brain cells and forget to do this later on. So, might as well do this real quick. God, this is such a very janky area to work with, but oh well. Do I want to make it 3 blocks wide? Oh god, I mean for now, yeah, I think it will be wise to make it 3 blocks wide. Okay, no idea where the next set of freaking... oh god. Is this even gonna work? Is this staircase gonna work? I have no idea. Yeah, this is pretty janky, not gonna lie. This is a very janky sort of like staircase. But it's better than nothing, I would say. Alright. I mean, that's somewhat doable. Probably have like a bit of a split sort of road through here. Once we're done with this terrace, then we could start working on the actual buildings. Ideally, I want to get like all of the work done for like all the roads for the city done as much as possible, and then we can start working on the buildings. So at least I can not always interrupt my flow all the time when it comes to doing certain plans of some kind. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, this seems kind of off. Maybe it's wise? No. I was thinking about like just having a straight road around through here and then having like a T-junction over here to like access the rest of these areas, but I kind of want to build a building over here. So I'm just going to leave that as it is for now. Then do another turn over here. Whoops. Do another turn over here and probably like make a bit of a sun turn over here, I guess. Maybe? Let's just try and reach that edge over there. So we can kind of occupy these spaces over there for whatever building that we want to add. That might work pretty well. I really want to like, I would like to like work on some sort of like balcony based sort of, not balcony based of some kind, but like a lot of like balcony centric buildings for the city, especially if they're like right next to the cliff faces, so that it looks like they have like a nice sort of like viewpoint over like some areas of I would say the wastelands or whatnot from their houses or whatever like that. I mean, that'll look pretty cool maybe. Well, you have like 41 spectators or viewers, but no one is chatting. So pretty much like what is going on with the channel right now is that I'm part of like the front page backfill for Twitch. Because I'm a Twitch partner and all that stuff, we have like a bit of like a special privilege where you can apply to be part of like a sort of like a backfill of like other streamers that would occupy the front page in case there's not a major event that's happening and stuff like that. So what you're seeing right now in the view counter is a lot of viewers, but not a lot of chatters, because a lot of the viewers are coming from the front page, just lurking or like just there for whatever reason, instead of like chatting and all that stuff. So that's why the viewer count looks pretty inflated compared to like how many chatters are in there. And I would definitely say that's not great in terms of like both growing the channel and whatnot, because so far like there's no incentive really to yell at like the front page viewers to like come and chat, and even if I'd say so, they probably are just lurking. So that's why the viewer count is inflated, but the the chatter count is very low, which is still pretty concerning though. I'm always pretty concerned about how many unique chatters are going to the channel and all that stuff, and it's actually surprisingly damn low, which is frightening for the channel's growth. But it also really shows that front page like promotion doesn't really help much in terms of everything, honestly. It's not really beneficial in like a lot of different ways, so that's just also another sort of case study thing that is also to be taken into consideration. I cannot speak properly, holy frick. Anyway, 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 𝗟𝗶 or I don't know if I can pronounce that name correctly, or 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 or something like that. Hope you're doing pretty nice, by the way. Hope your day's been doing pretty well. I can't pronounce freaking anything anymore. My brain is officially fried. My entire mouth probably just does not want to cooperate whatsoever with my speaking abilities. So apologies. Yeah, I apologize in like probably 10 years in advance for me mispronouncing a lot of like names in the chat and all that stuff, because my brain just cannot function anymore. Probably need to refill this water bottle after this stream. Oh god, it's pretty like pretty low on stuff. Anyway, I mean, this is a pretty spacious sort of area to work on some buildings, so honestly I can kind of work with that. I don't know if there's enough space for more buildings over here. Maybe a small building over here and then a bit of a large building over here, I guess. And hopefully that'll be kind of alright for this area, hopefully. I don't freaking know. Anyway, so far we got all the roads, or actually, yeah, most of the roads already set up. So all we need to do now, or all we need to really do now, is to start working on the actual buildings for the city, I guess. We just need to make sure we have like a nice sort of layout like this to know what the shapes and the sizes of the buildings are going to look like. And if it doesn't look anywhere close to that, then I will suffer. But anyway, how old am I? I'm currently 19 years old, which is often a big surprise to a lot of people that I'm 19 years old. Maybe because of my voice sounds much more older than it's supposed to be, but then again, I've heard way deeper, like 19-year-olds, or yeah, a lot of people with like much more deeper voices than I am, and they're also 19 years old, so it could just be a weird puberty thing, I guess, just being whack in general, maybe, I have no idea, but who knows, who knows. What was I trying to look for? Okay, so I need some light gray glass over here, got some orange glass at the ready, some green glass for the basalt pillars. I think that's pretty much everything I would need. I don't think there really is anything else that I would need to grab in terms of like our glass stash a little bit, so it should be fine. Okay. Do you play Hypixel too? Not really anymore. I already pretty much retired from playing Hypixel for quite some time. I used to be a very avid Hypixel player, but after a while it just became very, very unfun after a while. Mainly because, like, as a New Zealander, you're fighting against people with, like, way better, like, latency and ping than you can ever while living in, like, a country that's, like, a few hundred kilometers or thousands of kilometers away. So the experience is not great, and after a while, I just got sick of, like, getting completely and utterly owned by how terrible the ping is, so, yeah, it's... unless Mojang finally fixes in some sort of proxy, like a server sort of like system, it's not really a very enjoyable experience here in New Zealand to like always keep playing Hypixel all the time. So in the meantime, I'm pretty much retired at the moment. Okay, let's go and deal with all these areas over here. Might as well swap this out just to make my life a little bit more easier. Trying to make some extrusions over here, so it should look pretty good. Did you like some streamer in particular? Like, it depends really, because I don't really like, ironically, as a Twitch streamer, I don't really watch a lot of like Twitch streamers in general. Like, I don't usually watch someone like all the time. I usually just hang out with like other like buddy streamers that I know of, and just like just stare at their streams and see how well they're doing. But there really isn't much of like I don't really watch like a lot of like streamers in general, which is pretty ironic for me, I guess. Alright, let's fix this area up. Yeah, this has to be a single door sort of wall, I guess. There really isn't that much room for like extrusions over here. Does that need to be this? Now I need to debate myself. Does it have to be 2 buildings or a single building? 'Cause so far, this does not seem to fit very well for like 2 buildings. So I might as well just turn this into like a single building, I guess. What the frick did I press? What hotkey did I press accidentally to like get the coordinates thing again? Because I know for a fact I hotkeyed it somewhere. MCG, bounding box iris, simply not shading. No, that's not it. FPS display left. No, that's the FPS display. Chat chords is N. When the frick did I accidentally press N? What? Okay, anyway. It's pretty handy. It's a pretty handy mod if you're especially playing in like multiplayer and stuff like that. And you want to share your chords pretty easily, or if you want to like get a nice sort of log of like where your chords are while playing in single player, it's a pretty handy mod. But also, like, how the frick did I even touch the N button? In your free time, what do you usually do? Like, do other work that's like somewhat related to both like I don't know what to really say except like doing like other content creation stuff. That's all I can really say right now. But yeah, that's pretty much what I usually do in my free time. Sometimes I also play some video games as well because, like any other teenager, I'm kind of like a gamer, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, streaming is also something I usually do in my free time anyway. Like, I allocate like parts of my free time to do some streaming stuff, which is pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, this shape for a building should be pretty much alright. I don't even have any white glass, because I need that for the doorways. Holy frick. I'm so organized with this. Yep, 7,300 days. I haven't really given much shite about the day counter that much, because pretty much it's just a number that just keeps going up. And since we're stuck in the nether and we're not usually sleeping all the time, the rates of like how fast the days go by is very, very slow. So it's just not really something I really care too much about it, or really care too much about. And we appreciate it. I don't know if you're talking about like the content creation stuff or the streaming stuff, but yeah, that's pretty fair then. I'm gonna say this outright: 7,300 Minecraft days in hardcore is not really impressive. There's already like streamers that I know of, or actually a couple streamers that I know of now. There's actually quite a lot that already passed like 10,000 Minecraft days, 20,000 Minecraft days. So like honestly, Minecraft days as a sort of statistic to know how long a hardcore world has been going on is really invalid, if that's the right word, like an invalid statistic to really know how long a hardcore world has been going on. Especially, yeah, if you're working in like a dimension like the End or the Nether, the time, the sort of like, the amount of day, how do I articulate shite? The day counter is much more shifted in such a way that like, yeah, it's just not a really accurate sort of like measurement to like know how long a hardcore world has been lasting. Usually it's best to like look at how many hours have been played, and that's a bit of a better sort of statistic to read off to know how long a hardcore world has been. And our one has been pretty reasonably long. Yeah, 𝗦𝗍 is well beyond 22,000 Minecraft days. I know pretty well how far 𝗦𝗍 has been going. So yeah. That's why it's not really that impressive to like say without, yeah, the Minecraft day counter is not really too impressive for me. I mean, it's pretty cool, but also I look at 𝗦𝗍's like playtime and it's like well over like 3,000 like hours in real life, and I'm like, yep, that makes total sense. I cannot allocate that much time playing Minecraft all the time though, so I cannot really beat his sort of rate. So yeah, that makes total sense why he reached up to 22,000 Minecraft days. But yeah, pretty much we're just going at our own pace, and that's perfectly fine by me. I really don't want to like rush how fast our hardcore world can progress and all that stuff. Just taking our sweet time is good enough for us. Okay, I hate the fact that this room over here is very tiny. So you've got two options. One is to move this pathway to reach this sort of corner over here so we have a little bit of extra space, or another idea is that I can just cut this part of the building off and then just leave this as like an open area of some kind. I probably would go for the open area design though, because I don't want to really move the pathway. And honestly, it's nice to have like a little bit of extra free space for like other stuff to just be in terms of the city, instead of just being old buildings all the time. So we'll just fix this up again. Is this a city? Yes. If you want to know a little bit more about this, you can do !project or !building. It just cuts out like that. Anyway, more hyper potion stuff. I really need some of these energy centric music right now in my brain right now, because it's beginning to slowly get tired, and that's not really great when it comes to like streaming, you know? Definitely would need some energy right now. Okay, let's add, nope. Let's just focus on just adding the wall blocks for now. By the way, if you're very confused about like why am I using so many different types of like stained glass and stuff like that, I highly recommend you do the !guide command in the chat, because that would also give you a nice sort of like image about what the different types of glass indicates in terms of these floor plans here. It's a pretty handy sort of like graphic. Alright, double door entrance over here. Easy peasy. Now we can probably easily split this into two different buildings, but where would the next entrance be? Can't be over there because that'll look a bit too jarring. So maybe around through here, maybe? Then again, I want to like maximize as much of the space over here, so maybe I'll just keep this as like a single building then, because I can't think of anything else to really work around through here, I guess. Yeah, a single building should be fine, maybe. Okay, this plot of land, this would have to be definitely like multiple different buildings, because this will be an absolute mess to deal with. I'm not gonna really say too much about what I'm studying, especially since I'm like in university and stuff like that, because I feel like someone could easily track down what like specific classes I will be in, because like I'm currently studying a very specific type of course of some kind, and ideally I don't want to get stalked upon, so I'm not gonna really share too much details about it, except it's kind of like a creative course of some kind, so that's all I can really say about it. Alright, go over here. Just go around the edges. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Should I put a doorway over here? Don't know if that'll be a wise sort of decision, so I'll probably just leave the outline first so we can see if we can fit some stuff around here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's place a block. Probably should add a quartz indicator here. That should be fine. Then just black glass all over the place here. I do use some of the green glass in the guides over here. So you can see some like basalt pillars over there on like the corners of where these wall blocks are. And that just adds a little bit of an extra accent to like the edges that you're about to see pretty soon. For the meantime, I need to debate about whether I can fit an extra entrance to this bloody place here. So I might need to build an extrusion, or maybe extrude this wall a little bit so we can have like an entrance over there, but that doesn't seem to be pretty neat. I could technically fit multiple different buildings actually. Or 3 different buildings in this one plot of land, so maybe that's the approach we should probably take around through here. But it's only one way to find out, and that is by experimenting a little bit. Make this a little bit asymmetrical. There we go. Why the frick is this room starting to get warm all of a sudden? Like, where was the wind? Like, I remember waking up to, like, a nice sort of, like, cold breeze. And for whatever reason, we're getting suddenly, like, a lot of cold breezes all of a sudden here in New Zealand, despite it being summer. And yet, all of a sudden, the breeze is suddenly gone. The breeze is gone. Like, bruh. Where was my, like, sort of, like, nice cold, sort of, like, what's the word? Like, sort of, like, not vibes, but, like, sort of atmosphere, I guess. I think that's the right word. I don't freaking know. But where's the freaking breeze? Why did it just, like, ditch me like that? I love it whenever, like, the weather just trolls me for whatever stupid reason. Okay. Are you introvert? I'm gonna presume you're asking if I'm an introvert or not, and I am definitely an introvert. I would say I'm like a social introvert because I fine-ish with, like, socializing with some people, but overall I do need to recharge after a while. From, like, having to socialize quite a lot with others. Yeah, sort of like a social introvert, basically. Where I'm kind of, like, okay with, like, talking to people for some time, but I definitely would need some time alone after a while. Because it just feels very, very annoying for whatever reason. Or pretty exhausting, I would say. Not annoying. Okay, let's fix up these sort of corners here, because they look kind of bad, but I also need to build, like, an entrance over here. Make sure everything looks to be pretty good. You seem pretty friendly. I mean, I don't know. And, I mean, I don't know if introverts have, like, some sort of weird, sort of tendency to not be friendly, because most introverts are often, like, pretty shy-ish, or not really most introverts, but a lot of introverts are not really, what's the word, overbearing, or very, like, aggravating, if you know what I mean. Because that's something that's, like, not really a major trait that, like, introverts usually acquire. Because often we're just kept to ourselves most of the time and just wondering why the frick do we still exist in life. So, don't know really exactly. Like, if you assume, like I'm an extrovert from, like, my streams alone, it's very deceiving, honestly. No, there's, like, a lot of introverts that still stream. I would say, like, it's much more comfortable to stream. Stream games and whatnot, compared to, like, going out into the real world and interact with people. Because there's some sort of, like, medium for people, like, especially for us introverts, to not really feel, I mean, I do get exhausted after a while, especially when I keep streaming all the time. So I still feel that sort of social, like, energy being, like, completely drained out of me. But for just streaming in general, I think it's a little bit more easier for us to really, like, get used to compared to, like, socializing with people all the time in real life. Because there really isn't, like, a lot of person-to-person contact or face-to-face contact all the time. Unless you're using a webcam, then we all suffer then in some ways because of that. But for mainly just me, like, not using a webcam and stuff like that, it's perfectly fine for us to keep doing this. But yeah, I know a couple of, like, introverts that can easily, like, adjust pretty well to just doing, like, streaming stuff. But again, it's all down to everyone's pace. Some people don't usually, like, want to, like, do live streaming and stuff like that in general, but some people do. Okay, let's see. So I can easily split this entire area, I would say, into, like, two different, well, three different buildings, I would say, because we can easily split this area up. Have that sort of split up, and then I need to somehow add some extra space for this building over here, so I might need to build, like, a room over here, and then something over here. Hopefully this does not look completely and utterly jank. I mean, it looks kind of jank in some areas, but it might work. This area might look like it's gonna work in some ways, hopefully. I don't really know, honestly. Alright. How's that looking so far? So we have this nice sort of doorway over here that goes right next to the staircase over there, which is a bit jarring, but honestly I can't really complain too much about that. I have a still pillar over in this corner over here. So that looks pretty alright. This looks wrong. Did your friend know about your stream? I don't know what you mean by did your friend know about my stream, because I have like a lot of different friends from like both online and IRL, so the answer varies quite a lot. So did you play with your friend? Again, IRL or online again, because IRL people, I tend to not really emphasize my Twitch streaming stuff IRL, because it's, well, first of all, as an introvert, it's gonna absolutely suck when people just like start speaking about like your online activity IRL, because that's just, it just feels wrong. I don't know what else to really say, except it just feels wrong if you talk about someone's online sort of like thing as like an IRL topic all the time. Like, you're just not focusing on something that's really relevant, I guess. I don't know what the right word is, but it just feels awkward, so I don't usually bring that up that much. But do I ever play with like IRL people on stream before? I don't think I usually do. A lot of like IRL like people or friends I know just don't usually like playing like a lot of the games that I usually play, so yeah, that's all I can really say, honestly. I don't really know. But as far to my knowledge, I don't think they really play for like or play with me or what. What's the word? I don't also usually like playing with like other people like on stream as well, because I'm really someone who just likes doing their own solo thing. So that's also another thing I would also say. So even for like the answer for online friends, I don't usually do that for a stream sort of thing, but I usually do play with like or want to play with like people like online, sometimes off stream, but for on stream stuff, I don't usually do that. It gets pretty distracting, and I always prefer like doing my own thing in some ways. So far that looks pretty good. Yeah, single player streams are perfectly fine for me. Again, it's a nice sort of way to like feel like, well, how I feel, what's the right word? How I like view this sort of thing is that like with like doing streams by yourself compared to like streaming with others is that you're more in control over what you're doing as a Twitch streamer or like a streamer in general. Because with like multiplayer stuff, you unless you know how to socialize with people very well, then you basically have zero control about what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna say something very whack, and there's really not much you can really do to like socially like drive this out of like a freaking like stupid gutter of some kind. I don't know what to really say about that, honestly, or get a better analogy for that. But yeah, that's been a common thing that I've like encountered, and usually it's something that I don't really have very good sort of like knowledge about, because I, again, an introvert who kind of sucks at socializing in general. So that's why I often just prefer like single like player streams or some kind like that, or just solo streams, I would say. It doesn't mean that I would hate like wanting to do collabs or like co-stream with other people. It just means that like some environments where a lot of like co-streaming or like multiplayer streaming happens, it just doesn't fit right for me, or it just doesn't go well for me. That's all I can really say about that. Okay, we can easily fit 2 buildings over here. We can add like an entrance over here and see if this will look pretty good. Favorite Minecraft block? I have no freaking clue. I don't usually pick favorites when it comes to like Minecraft block related stuff. I don't even really know what my favorite block is, honestly. I just use whatever feels right in like the right sort of environment, so there really isn't a favorite block that I think I have. Nothing much I can think of. I love the ambiance of these tracks. Alright, anyway. How often do you stream? You can do ! schedule to see how often I stream nowadays. Recently I changed it to probably like less streams nowadays, because I used to do like weekday streams all week round, but after a while I started to get like a bit of like very wacky streamer burnout, so that's been slightly reduced after a while. So the stream schedule is a little bit more shortened than before, where I usually just do full weekday streams and whatnot, but instead I just focus on just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just to avoid getting like a very bad case of like streamer burnout. What music playlists do you use? I use my own types of playlists. Currently we're listening to the festive playlists, because these are tracks that have that kind of provoke like a bit of a festive feel, because you know it's almost the end of the year and I can't find any good like holiday tracks without using the most stereotypical holiday tracks you can find. So this is close enough-ish. But I also feel like a pretty nice sort of like festive mood in some ways. There's like a lot of playlists. Actually, I'm actually planning to revamp a lot of my streaming Spotify playlists for next year, so that way they're a little bit more better organized for the moods I want to like focus on, or the type of vibes I want to focus on. So I can't really like I don't know if it's, I mean, I could still share my old playlists, but those are going to be slowly become obsolete after a while in favor of a much more better system that I have getting set up after a while. But yeah, primarily it's just chill tunes, I would say. I like just focusing on chill vibes. This is such a very messy looking building with all the diagonals. I don't know if there really is like a... Yeah, I don't think there really is much of a solution to really fix this. Yeah, especially when these corners over here, there really isn't that much we can do like corner-wise over here, so that's probably the best-ish we can go for, which is quite jarring, but at the same time, yeah. There really isn't much we can really do around through here. Which is both sad and also very, very frustrating in some ways. Wow, the front page viewership is still growing up, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I love the chill vibes, indeed. I like listening to the chill vibes. Also, I'm gonna utilize this freaking blade, like, side of the blade cliff face. What the frick am I doing earlier? Alright, let's do that. Make sure it touches around through this area over here. Besides, anyway, once you have like access to like a cliff face like this, you can easily just hide like huge portions of your builds, or not builds, but like a lot of the accents that you would need to build, so you can maximize the internal space of your buildings. That's pretty handy. Bro, you have 20,000 followers, even though like 90% of it is extremely inactive, and the other 10% don't really give a shite. So it's not really a very accurate thing, and they're all like legitimate viewers. I was already sifting it. I already sifted through the entire follower list to check how many bots or bot accounts there are, and like out of like all of them, only like 100 were bots. So they all are like legitimate accounts, but they're also very inactive legitimate accounts. So I don't know what else to say about that, except it's really showing how much like how bad the sort of like a follower to like viewership ratio it is in terms of like the channel, I guess. Maybe because I'm doing the same thing over and over again, but at the same time I also been just doing what's the word? So I've been doing both like the same thing over and over again, but I've also been doing like a lot of variety stuff, and I don't know if both of those things combined killed off the entire momentum or like growth of the channel. In fact, Twitch doesn't even say if that is going to kill off or destroy the rest of the channel anyway, because it's just whack. But whatever, honestly, whatever. I just do whatever I want after a while, because it's just not really worth just having to like cater to the algorithm all the time, I guess. But it just doesn't make any sense. It really just doesn't make any sense. Did you like streaming? What do you mean by did you like streaming? What do you mean by that? Okay, we need to probably move this wall over here. Just a little bit to the left, because there really isn't that much room over there. And this would probably just be a single building, because, yeah, there really isn't a lot of room to, like, fit multiple buildings over here. So this is good enough for what we can work with. Running low on black glass, though, which is horrifying. Or, not horrifying, just a bit worrying. Just a bit worrying. If you like the environment of the chat, I'm sorry, so first of all, did you like streaming? Past tense. Like, I'm presuming you're asking me if I like streaming in general? I mean, in general, yes, I still enjoy streaming in general. Do I like the environment of the chat though? That is a different question because it varies quite a lot. And that's kind of like the biggest sore point in terms of like me streaming all the time, or like my past few years of streaming, is that like the chat quality varies so freaking much. Like I wish it was consistently good, but it's never consistently good or bad, which is I don't know if that's good or not. So you got like the good moments where like the chat is somewhat quiet but very chill, but then there's also points where like it's very active, which is nice, but then it's just full of people who are whack. Like, that's the only thing I just don't know how to really address, because so far it's really just down to like the streamer asking for what type of chat quality they want, but whenever I ask for a specific chat quality, it just doesn't do that. Like, it's really just weird. It's just such a weird sort of thing to deal with, and I don't really know exactly what is the primary cause of all of that, but it's whatever. Anyway, we'll just go around through here, making sure that all the edges over here are pretty much like excavated. Got my throat. Alright, pillars over here on the edges. Much black glass. I already restocked on black glass, so next worry is white glass, but I think white glass should be okay for a bit, like a small bit. But we'll definitely might need to restock that after a while. I mean, again, like in general, like I enjoy streaming. So if you want that as like my impression of streaming, then yeah, it's so far I'm pretty alright with streaming. Alright, let's go over here. Is this area able to fit very well, or this building gonna fit pretty well? Because I feel like there is going to be a lot of, not space that I'll be missing, but like, I'm just kind of worried about the internal space though. It looks pretty alright. Depends on your definition of what an active chat and a passive chat is, again. A lot of people think that it's like, both like activity and versus like non-activity, but it's not as black and white or that sort of spectrum that you need to worry about. It's also the quality of chat messages that you have to deal with. Like, I would always prefer, like, a dead chat with, like, chill viewers to come in once in a while over, like, a very active chat that is full of people that are extremely freaking whack, if you know what I mean. So it's just more than, like, activity that needs to be taken into consideration. It's also the quality of, like, the chat messages. And holy frick is the quality of chat messages in this Twitch channel so freaking inconsistent. Like, one moment you have, like, people that are really chill and nice to talk to, and the next person then arrives just becomes like a freaking like copy pasta freaking bot of some kind, thinking that they're like jokes that are very mediocre or really funny, and they just don't get the memo that they aren't not funny. It's super bloody annoying. That's all I can really say about that. Let's go over here. This chat is pretty nice and chill, but also it's pretty dead. So, I don't know if I would want to keep this chat for, like, such a long time, though. Like, there's always room for improvement, but then again, one of the areas of improvement is pretty much good as it is. Rude? What do you mean, rude? I'm just saying that, like, one of the areas of, like, this chat has already been well improved, but the other, like, another aspect of it is not yet really improved. Calling us dead. I mean, I'm speaking the truth, aren't I? Is it not wrong to call this chat dead? Which is not a bad thing, by the way. Like, I'm fine with, like, a somewhat dead chat. Better than someone copy and pasting freaking, like, Rickroll lyrics all over the bloody place. But again, it's still an accurate description of what this chat is. It's still somewhat dead. Yeah, don't let me start timing you out, Nadari. Alright, anyway, let's go around through here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Alright, let's see over here. Shall I make this? Yeah, make this asymmetrical. Add some, like, double door entrances over here. Exploding pickle. I guess I'll close the stream then, because I guess the streamer doesn't want me here. I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, it's your choice. Like, if you're trying to, like, guilt trip me into saying that you guys are a good chat, I mean, I'm not gonna really phase too much about that. I mean, you guys are not bad. You're not the worst chat I've seen in quite some time, you know? So if you want something that ensures your quality, there you go. But at the same time, it's still what is arguably a pretty dead chat compared to, like, a lot of different streams in the past. That's just me being brutally honest anyway, because, yeah, I need to be brutally honest when it comes to my streams anyway. If it feels awful, then I need to, like, say it's awful, or else it's just not great for me to, like, say that's always good. Oh no, I don't really message. I already read most of the messages anyway. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we need to put some accents, or yeah, we need to like put like a full-on proper like building around here, because so far there really isn't any sort of like trick. What's the word? Like not a trick. Shortcuts. There we go. There really isn't much of like an accent shortcut we can work with around through here. So, yep, that's something we'll need to get used to, I guess. Would it be wise though to have like the accents just be on top of those parts of the cliff face though? Would that make more sense? I don't really know. I mean, then again, I'll probably worry about that in the building phase, I would say, not really in the planning phase just yet. Alright, see you later then, so now, and hopefully see you next time. Be sure to get some good rest then, mate. Gotta love listening to Tazwell. Still cross-legging my legs again, Jesus Christ. Alright, see you later then, so noun. Alright, let's go over here, fix up all the stuff up here. Oh, this entrance is way too close to the wall over there, so I need to move this a little bit. That's always lovely. Let me just move it just by a small bit. Again, asymmetrical, but that's what I'm trying to aim for anyway, so that's all good. That'd be fine. Yeah, that seems to be pretty alright, I think. I don't want to think too hard, or else I'm just going to make like a lot of perfectionist mistakes. This area is extremely narrow, though. That's going to be a bit concerning for us to work with. Again, probably in the building phase of this entire like project, I probably would just decide whether or not I'll have the accents touching up towards those points over there, I guess. But considering how narrow these walls are, I think that might have to be the case. There really isn't that much room to really work with around through here. Yeah, that looks very, very tight. I mean, I could just indicate now that these areas would just be sort of walls for the meantime, and then we'll add accents to the edges above, but I don't know how we're gonna really compensate for this. There we go. Yeah, I'll probably just have it right next to the wall over there. Just like so. Love that chord in the background. Alright, so we'll just move this up a little bit. Make sure it's touching around this sort of corner over here. There we go. And then have this, yeah, we'll just have it like touch over there instead. There we go. Remove the inner wall bits. There we go. A lot more extra space now for like these rooms here. Alright, we'll just have to keep in mind that the accents would have to be placed on top of where the cliff faces are. Unless I somehow forget about it later on in the future, then I'm just gonna be really stupid. Which most likely would be the case. But oh well. You know, Sonic Runners again. What the hell do I fit in the middle of this area here? It looks like I could fit somewhat of like a square of some kind, but then like the freaking like corners on like the edges over there look really awful, and it kind of ruined the entire vibe of this being like an actual square of some kind. We could probably just fix this to be in like a right angle corner though. But yeah, this is gonna be really annoying though. So maybe I can turn this into like somewhat of like a square of some kind, like a mini square. That might be something that we could go for this area, maybe. I'll just have to indicate using, like, the orange glass that this is going to be some sort of square area. It looks more like a baseball pitch the more I think about it, actually. Because we have, like, this sort of, like, weird corner at the ends. But then again, this will be such a small-ass, like pit, like, baseball field. Anyway, we'll just put like a bit of an edge around here. There we go. And then we'll just add like a nice looking like sort of square area here. There goes all of our orange glass though. So we just indicate that as being another square area. This is a nice sort of area where like villagers can just like converge and just interact with each other maybe. Who knows? Let's adjust this a little bit so we can make this a little bit more spacious at the end here. Alright, there we go. I think that's a pretty good sort of like, yeah, extra space over here for whatever bloody bushes or whatever like that would just be over there, I guess. Add some foliage just to make this added, what's the word? Just add a little bit of extra life to this part of the city, maybe. I don't know. I'm really bad when it comes to like trying to describe visions I have about like this part of the city, I guess. Alright, let's see what we can fit around through here. Should I excavate all these sort of weird like cavern areas here? Or should I fill them in? Probably would just leave them in for now, and I'll decide once I'm in the building process, I guess. Because I don't know if this would probably fit very well for this area, so we'll see. Probably just put a doorway around through here, like so. I have so much red glass in my inventory. Alright, there we go. Ooh, that looks very rough though. Let's move this a little bit to the corner here. There we go. Yeah, it looks pretty alright. Yeah, this will all be part of like the same building. So these can all just be wall blocks over here, which should be fine, hopefully. Get out of here, weeping vines. Do. Gotta love that soundtrack. Alright, just straight walls over here for now. I really don't want to make these into just nothing but straight walls, but there really isn't much we can really do around here. Oh well, makes our little life a little bit easier when it comes to designing these buildings, I guess. Okay, just around the edges over here. Do we want this to be all just like accent walls, maybe? Considering the building is not going to be very high, I guess we can just turn these into like proper walls. That could be completely fine for us. This area probably will need to be filled in, though. There we go. A little bit of extra space for like top terraces over here. This is nice and chill to listen to. Okay. This is not a great sort of like entrance area for a multitude of reasons. Maybe it's best we actually, yeah, we probably should start like entranceway over here. The reason why is that there's going to be walls that'll be like positioned around here and over here, which is going to make things a little bit ugly or wacky to deal with, and I don't want to like have doorways that just have like a side that's just nothing but wall right next to it. Really, really looks bad. So hopefully this will look a little bit better then. Hopefully. Alright. This is one spacious building. I don't even know what the heck is going to be filling in this building after a while. Maybe something like workshop related? This could be just be a huge sort of like factory of some kind, but I can't really think of like any sort of major idea yet for what this area could be. So we'll just leave it there for now and see what we can decide perhaps once we're in the building process of this area. I tricked my dad into thinking I can go to... sorry, I tricked my dad thinking I could go to sleep. That is horrifying, I guess. I think it would be easier for us to understand your vision if you build like one house or two. I mean, technically I already done that, but the problem is that those are all prototypes. I already done like some sort of prototype build designs of what the buildings would look like. However, I don't know if showing them off would really help out because they're only prototype designs. And considering some of the shapes of these buildings, I don't think they would fit. Sorry, they would not really fit as well as I would want them to. So that's the thing. I don't know what is the best way of really like trying to describe what the vision is going to be. Because if I show off buildings, it probably would just be a bit inaccurate. And also a little bit wonky in some ways because some of the building layouts do not really fit very well for those building prototypes. Okay, now let's see what we can fit over here. This is going to be a very weird fit. Not using fring pickaxe again, because that'll be a nightmare to work with. This would have to be like a huge building complex of some kind. So just multiple, like one whole building with like multiple buildings stuck inside of it. That's the only way I can think of how this area could work. Alright. Yeah, let's make a bit of a straight line over here first, and then we have like a bit of like an extrusion. So that's a single entrance over there. Hopefully that'll be alright. Oh god, how the hell are we gonna fit multiple entrances around through here? That'll be something we'll have to deal with. Let me just dump all the red glass. And also a little bit of extra netherrack as well. Why the heck did I have spare netherrack in our inventory? Alright, anyway, let's go around here. Yeah, all these are just gonna be walls. Oh, frick. Really need to be very careful when it comes to hotkeying stuff. I don't even have any red glass with me. That's the reason why. Wow. Okay. There we go. Fix that. There we go. A little bit more fixes around through here. There we go. Accent walls over here. That was a pretty nice soundtrack. Despite being part of like Lost World for whatever reason, but still, really nice soundtrack. An asymmetrical entrance. That'll be fine for us for a little bit. I might as well put the wall blocks first so we can see how spacious this building is going to look like first of all. More Hyper Potions music, let's go. Alright, looking pretty good. I don't think there is going to be any room for us to fit in like an entrance over there, so I might need to move this just by a slight bit. There we go. Will that work? Yeah, kinda. You can add like a double door entrance over here. Where else can I put an entrance? These freaking areas of the pathway look really annoying to work with. Could we fit in our building? That's something I'll actually need to answer real quick before we continue on. Let me see. Let's see if we can try and fit like a wall in the middle over here. God, who knew that? Like building outlines is such a painful thing, and whatever. It's hard to really visualize. All right, there we go. You can do exclamation mark pack, by the way, silos, I guess. Or silos, I don't know. If you want to know what is the types of texture packs that we use. Pretty handy command. Okay, we can move this over on the right hand side a little bit. That just adds a little bit of extra space to this edge over here. Alright. See, that looks pretty good. This is way too spacious though. But then again, I can't think of like what is going to be a good entrance for this stupid part of the building, because I don't know if I could split this. I think we could split this up into some sort of like extra building, but where would the entrance be? Oh, God. Yeah, these are very tight sort of areas, so we might as well just turn this into like one whole building, I guess. There really isn't that much we can really work with, which is a bit of a shame, but then again, that's the reality of doing buildings, I guess. Silos, or silos, I guess. Well, don't know what the right pronunciation is, though. But anyway, welcome to the Fox Army. Miori, welcome back, Miori. It's been a while, Fox, indeed. Hope your day's been doing pretty nice so far, Miori. Hope you're doing pretty well so far, mate. Okay, let's grab this. Okay, we just need to fix all of this areas over here. 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶, I think that's how to pronounce your name. Then again, a lot of people are going to immediately turn that into like an Among Us meme, so I have no idea what will be the right pronunciation still from my head. I'm going to presume it's 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶. Yeah, hopefully that's alright though. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is a pretty spacious sort of building. Thought I could split this into 3, but there really isn't much space to work on like another entrance, so yeah, we'll live with this. This is a pretty good sort of space anyway. At least there's more space to work with. So I guess that's sort of like the benefit of having some very big like thing like that. Do I still need some extra terrain in my inventory? Just in case, maybe. Just in case somehow we need more of those, or need to do a little bit of extra, like, minor terrain terraforming, I guess. Let me just quickly restock on black glass, and then we'll continue on with our glass placing journey, hopefully. Okay, you need to die, sir. Thank you. I know, by the way, 𝗏𝗏. Hope you're doing pretty nice so far as well, mate. Alright, dump these real quick. We're gonna need some more. Oh my god, I need to throw this. There we go. Did I use up all of my wither roses? Because I don't see any spare amounts of black dye. That is great. Definitely great. Okay, now we need to... I guess we need to restock quickly on our supply of, like, wither roses, I guess. So, to the end we go, because I still have, like, a somewhat large stash of wither roses I can somewhat grab, I guess. At least we don't need to worry too much about, like, our, supply of, like, wither roses. But at the same time, I really don't want to eat up on our reserve, but whatever. There really isn't much we can do around here. Thank you, Mayori, for that. Anyway, so 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 says, what kind of building are you building? It's not really just a building, but like it's an entire like sort of city project. So that's what we're working on. Also, why did you put Australian in your tags? Because I wanted to bring Australians to the stream, because we keep getting like people that have like terrible time zones in like the stream for whatever reason. I'm kidding, but like at the same time, like a lot of Europeans are still tagging in and need to go to sleep soon. So. Anyway, we need to like get some Australians into the stream as well, so that's why I have like the Australian tag on. I mean, technically it's not incorrect though, because we're technically next to each other, I guess, here in New Zealand and Australia, and the culture is not really too different, so it's like whatever, really. It's whatever. Like it's somewhat related to like Australians anyway. Okay, anyway, let's throw this over here for now. We only have like this many wither roses left. It's such a pain to like grind them all using like a crap ton of withers. Anyway, we own you. No, just kidding, says 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶. Thank you very much for that. Jakir says, I'm from Germany. Hello, hope you're doing pretty well. I can't say Guten Tag, I think, because it's currently the evening in Germany, so I can't say that. But yeah, hope you're doing pretty well so far, Jakir, I think. Hope your day's been doing alright. Like, again, why are there still Europeans still watching the streams? I mean, no offense to Europeans, though, but, like, it's currently, like, what, nighttime for you guys? Like, I think you guys need to get some rest soon, but, I mean, I'm not complaining, though. Yeah, it's 11 p.m., so I'm presuming a lot of, like, Europeans are supposed to be going to sleep, but I guess, like, one very interesting sort of, like, audience that the streams have been attracting are people that do not want to go to sleep, so... I mean, I can't complain about that, I guess. Sleep-deprived people, I guess, are, like, the only audience that would join our streams. I don't know what else to really say about that. Going to bed in 3 to 4 hours, again, these streams only cater to a very specific type of audience. But anyway, that's, I mean, yeah. Be sure to get some good rest, though, Jakir, soon. Preferably probably like an hour or so instead, because you probably need as much rest as you possibly need for your brain. But up to you again. I need to store all these blocks for meantime, because I need to get a lot of black glass ready. So where is... yeah, we still have like a reserves, or like a large amount of reserves of glass left, so we still can grab from over here. There we go. Turn this into black glass, like so, and then dump it over here. Nice. Gonna need some more. Does glass stop spawns? Yep. Any transparent or non-full block in Minecraft helps to avoid mobs from spawning in. So we're using glass as a very good, like, spawn-proofing block. And more importantly, it actually looks much more better compared to, like, well, if you have, like, an entire area of, like, red glass, it's almost invisible to look at when you're working in a nether. Because, yeah, half slabs do not look very pretty, and putting buttons is also going to be an annoyance as well for whoever suggested that earlier. But yeah, that's why we're using glass. It's a really nice sort of spawn-proofing block that actually looks pretty nice compared to other spawn-proofing blocks. Alright, anyway. Gonna convert all this to black. Yeah, the glass design looks really, really nice. I don't know if it's gonna be the last or finalized sort of like flooring I want for the entire city, because we need a spawn-proofable like sort of block for like all the floorings for the entire city. But considering that half slabs are a bit finicky to work with, and yeah, anything else would probably not work very well, I think we're probably just gonna stick to glass. And besides, it looks pretty nice anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Let's dump this over here. There we go. Okay, all the excess amounts of glass that we can pick off. We'll worry about that later. God, we're really eating up on our supply of like reserve glass, though. That's slightly horrifying. Oh, whoops, I forgot to grab, like, the excess amounts of glass that we have still left over here. Or materials that we still have left. Alright, back to good old home base, and then we'll just continue on with our work. Still have a few more terraces to work with. Are you playing with mods, or are you playing with mods, I presume that you're asking? Currently, yes. Most of them are performance or cosmetic mods, though, so nothing really that changes the overall gameplay and all that stuff. Just pretty much just adds or enhances it as, like, quality of life fixes and whatnot. You can take a look at the full mod list that I'm using right now using !mods. I probably would need to update that list, because there might be some mods that I've added before. But pretty much it's still relatively accurate, and all of them are, as far as I know, compatible. Not yet to 1.19.2 yet. That's something I'm not too sure about yet. I haven't updated to 1.19.3. Sorry, 1.19.3. I haven't updated to 1.19.3, but all of them are supposed to be working for 1.19.2. Just a little bit of a word of caution, though. Alright, what in the bloody hell is this corner over here? Okay, we might need to adjust this just a small bit. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I need to be very, like, not cautious, just mindful about where the perimeter of this building is going to be, because it's going to definitely touch with, like, another building that's going to be positioned somewhere over here, hopefully. I really love the enhanced utilization of horses in the new version. Enhanced utilization? Oh, I guess, like, the enhanced, like, ways of, like, putting saddles and stuff like that. Yeah, that's been, like, a long overdue sort of, like, thing that is really, really useful to deal with. Though, then again, I don't think it's really something I would really be too hyped about, because I haven't really been using horses that much. But still, it's a welcome change, though. Thank goodness Mojang finally added something like that. Let's go around the edges over here. This is giving me Celeste feels, despite this being an actual Minecraft soundtrack. But then again, Lena Rain composed the soundtrack, so that's why it kind of feels a little bit like a Celeste soundtrack of some kind. Which is pretty good. I just realized that the extrusion over here would not really fit well with the rest of this building size. I mean, then again, it could slightly overlap, so that could be something that we can work with. So that's not too bad for this area, I guess, for the design. Are you aware of, like, carriages and chests you can put on them? Chests, yes. Carriages, that sounds like a mod. So, all I know is that you could put chests on specific horses and llamas. But yeah, only just, like, donkeys, as far as I know, and llamas are able to, like, have chests on them and all that stuff. So that's all I know of. But carriages sound like a bit of, like, a modded feature, because that is not in the game, as far as I know. Alright, that's, oh god, that looks kind of jank. Let's not do that. No, I don't think there are trailers in vanilla, as far as I know. And I know that because I've been paying attention to, like, the recent 1.20 news. That is not a thing. That's unfortunately not a thing. So far, the closest I can think of is, like, a caravan, sort of thing with, like, attaching multiple llamas together, but that's the closest to whatever that is. But so far, not carriages. I know, by the way, Pockets, if that's how to pronounce your name. I know, by the way, though, Pockets. Hope your day's been doing pretty well. Welcome to this very wacky hardcore stream. Pockets, yeah. Pretty nice name, though. Alright, let's go fix up this design. Jesus. Okay, anyway, let's... Sometimes building the buildings is going to be an absolute hard mess to deal with after a while. Let's see. Is this enough space? I want to make this into a double door sort of entrance, so there we go. Ba-ba-ba. 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 Wrong block. Mangrove wood or birch wood? Again, depends on the environment and all that stuff. As someone who's already been like building stuff for quite some time in my own hardcore world, like there really isn't like a huge like issue of using either birch or mangrove. It just really depends on like the environment that it's placed in. I would say mangrove is somewhat interesting to use for like swampy area builds and like jungle areas as well, while birchwood is very useful for beach areas. So like people hate those like two wood blocks, but at the same time they both have a very good purpose in like different environments. I don't think I would prefer either depending on like on a single type of environment, but it's just again a useful sort of block for, or useful blocks for types of environmental builds, I guess. I must have misunderstood something days ago. Lovely. Then again, a lot of wacky misinformation I've been seeing about like what would be the next part of like the next Minecraft update I've seen on YouTube and all that stuff, which is yikes. Like it's really kind of like whack to see so much people like not really getting deceived, but like people like deceiving others about what would possibly be in 1.20 and then just throwing in their own sort of theories about what it is, and then people think it's fact. It's really whatever, honestly. Alright, let's see around here. This looks very bloody cramped, so I'm gonna move this extrusion around here just to make sure there's a little bit of extra room over here, because that is just not gonna help us a lot. There we go, break all this. My throat is getting sore. Right, hopefully this is gonna look nice. Building planning is often very tedious jobs. Half of me really wants me to just like get like a schematic mod and instead use that as a way of like planning buildings, but at the same time it just doesn't fit very right with like the aesthetic of doing stuff doing stuff manually in Minecraft, I guess. Like I could full well just work on like a schematic and just place down ghost blocks instead, but at the same time something about just putting the layouts manually in Minecraft using glass blocks just fit better in sort of the essence of Minecraft, I guess. It's hard for me to describe it though, but it just fits better. Alright, this is a very tight area. Jesus Christ, it's only 2 blocks wide over here. Okay, we might need to adjust that a little bit. Sounds insane the more I keep singing the soundtrack a little bit. Okay, this is what I would call like a very weird-ass sausage building, because it literally is shaped like a very elongated sausage of some kind, and I really don't like that. Really don't like this sort of weird-ass design, so I'm gonna make some changes real quick. Number one is probably get rid of that weird tip over there, to avoid something that looks very phallic, and get this area sorted out instead. There you go. Fix that area a little bit. We might as well move this a little bit backwards as well, just to make sure this fits pretty much better over here. You know what? I'm just gonna make this into a simple corner block, or sort of simple corner. There we go. Alright, that's pretty much done. Now we just need to expand this part of the wall here. So just made this a little bit more extra extruded, just like so. This is why you plan buildings, ladies and gentlemen, or plan builds, because sometimes you'll find like a very wacky, weird design error that you can easily fix by just breaking just 1 or 2 blocks instead of like an entire building. It's really, really handy. And there he goes. There goes that block again. Yeah, this looks a little bit more spacious to work with now. Alright, perfect. Imagine if I like did this as like the final design of the building. I'm gonna be so freaking mad. It'll be really insane and also really, really tedious to work in. So, yep, at least this is much more spacious to work with now, and that's much more lovely. I don't really like this sort of shallow area, though, or very cramped up area, but considering this is just the entranceway, I don't think I would feel too bad about this. Alright, let's see how much space is going to be in for this building. Wonder how long until we reach like 1600 hours. I think we're pretty close to 1600 hours, I think. In terms of total playtime, I believe, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna leave that here. Nope. I'm gonna leave that there, because that's already a wall. Alright, go around the edges, like so. Just go around the edges. Whoops. And I'm out of black glass again. Great. Very interesting sort of glitch and landing. Alright. Let's see. Edges around here. Whoops. Yeah, that looks pretty alright. Yeah, the spacing of the building, or like the rooms that we can work with here, are actually not too bad. So, no major complaints as of now. But in case it does get pretty whack, we can try and do some modifications, I guess. But I think this is overall pretty alright. This area is a bit cramped, but I think that's by design, honestly. Alright, put some basalt pillars around the edges or the corners over here, just to add a little bit of extra detail, I guess. And we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, one over here. One over here. Two over here. Alright. Looking pretty alright. Yeah, looks pretty promising. Okay, let's see what in the bloody devil I'm gonna fit in this part of the plot. Or this plot of land over here. Probably would need to put like an extrusion around the corner over here, so we both have the entrance and like something to work there. I don't know what the way. I don't know what the best way of saying that, honestly. I might shorten this down though. This cliff face is a bit of a weird sort of mess to deal with. This is a really nice calm soundtrack. I love the wind being whack in the background. Alright. We'll just need to go over here. There's some stuff over here, I guess. Would this work? This is such a very narrow area. I guess we're just gonna make this a lot more simpler for us. There's some pillars over here. Piss off, you blocks. Alright. Put some pillar stuff over here. Get some like gray indicator blocks. There we go. Fill this in. This feels really, really nice and chill. I don't know if I want to keep this rounded area free of everything. I kind of want to build like some sort of like observatory of some kind over here, actually. Not observatory, but like some sort of like garden of some kind. But it's hard to really describe what this building is going to be, but it's something like that. So I might as well like try and design something that fits that sort of specification, maybe. And see if that would look pretty good. It'll probably be some sort of glass dome of some kind, so hopefully it'll look pretty good by the end of it. Yeah, I'm gonna probably like fix up these corners. Or actually, no, I'm gonna leave those corners actually. And then we're gonna put some pillars around the edges like so. And hopefully this would hopefully work pretty well for like a very small dome of some kind. I'm not too sure exactly how this would look, but I would like to put like some sort of like garden of some kind over here. That'll look pretty sweet. Add a light gray glass. Do we still have space for the red glass? Oh, barely. Definitely would need to dump all those red glass blocks after a while. Alright, fix this. Whoops. Not like that. Alright. Oh, frick off. I don't even have any red glass. Ah! I need some spare red glass to fix this. Well, just have to keep in mind that this area is pretty much like free as it is. Okay, red glass over here. Do some stuff around here, I guess. Then we put like another accent block around through there. Extrusion over here for us to have like ways of entering this building. I might as well like reach around the edges like so, like so. What the frick am I saying? I'm repeating myself. I haven't played Final Fantasy yet. Yeah, I could still memorize a lot of the soundtrack over here. It's a nice sort of like calm soundtrack though. Alright, there we go. We could probably extend this extrusion by a small bit. Just like so over here. Alright. God, this looks extremely big for a building. I don't even know what this building is going to be by the end of it. We could technically split this up into two, actually. But then again, what even is this building complex going to be for? I love things when they're always super complicated. Okay, let's see. We can put a doorway over here pretty easily. Let me just quickly add the walls around the sides here real quick, though. I always have a tendency to really build like a lot of like large area sort of buildings, I guess, which I guess is a good thing. So that way we could kind of like sort of cut it up like a pizza to like fit in some like interestingly shaped like interiors and buildings, I guess. I don't know how to describe this better, but I don't know. It looks pretty alright. New and better Grian. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere close to the skill set of Grian or any major Hermitcraft builder, I would say. Like, knowing that this would take, like, project like these would take, like months of, like, stream time and stuff like that, or even years of stream time, I don't think I would do very well in Hermitcraft and completing a project of some kind. Unless I really grinded very hard on, like, getting something done, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I would really be like another better Grian or a new type of Grian, I guess. I'm just myself, honestly. Just taking my own sweet time on building stuff, and that's all I am. That's all I am, really. Okay. You can probably, like, split this up like so. Hopefully this is not going to look too narrow, but we can easily split this area up. Yeah, these are pretty like well-shaped sort of building areas that we can kind of work with, so that's not too bad. Alright, anyway, let's put some basalt pillars around the corners over here. Hopefully those will look pretty nice. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I might as well like indicate probably around through here that this is going to be some sort of garden, I guess, using the basalt pillars maybe. Connect them with an archway so they are like half connected? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know why an archway would work well if they can just stick to like just being a whole building but two different rooms maybe. So yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm just going to use the green glass to indicate that this is like a garden area maybe. I mean, it symbolizes it pretty well. Okay, so we still have a few more bits to work on. We have to now work on a building that goes around this beacon area. Or we could just move the beacon, maybe. But this is going to be a bit of an interesting sort of challenge to work with. We'll just do a little bit of a stretch, and then we'll do one last building outline, and hopefully it's not going to look absolute garbage by the end of this entire stream, I guess. We probably are going to need to move the beacon, because it's going through multiple different layers of, like, terrain, which is not really ideal. So yeah, we're probably going to move this later on in the future. Yeah, just a simple outline over here, and then we should be good to go, I guess. God, how big is this building going to be, though? Because there's a lot of, like, curves around here that we have to work with. So I guess with this would just be, like, another case of, like, being one whole building, but it's just connected in multiple different ways. The kid who is not available says rugby, yay or nah. I mean, depends, really. Depends on really what rugby you're watching. Since I'm a New Zealander, I'm obligated to always say that rugby is pretty cool. But yeah, it depends on what, like, sort of title you're watching that's, like, the rugby matches that you're watching, I guess. Some is much more entertaining or better to watch than others, I guess, I don't know. Alright, last few bits of corners. Is this gonna be good enough? I wanna hope so. Whoops. Gotta love it when this playlist is just nothing but, like, chill tracks and very energetic tracks. It's just gonna really be a huge mood shift in between different tracks, I guess. FoxNZ watching rugby. Amazing. What makes your crosshair change shape? Says Fringe Back Seed Gamer. If you want to know what mod I'm using to, like, have the crosshair change multiple times or whatever like that, you can do !mods. There's, like, an FAQ that, yeah, there's an FAQ page or FAQ section that tells you about, like, this crosshair mod that I'm using called Dynamic Crosshairs. And that's the mod that I'm using that allows you to change between different crosshairs. It's a pretty nice sort of mod. Pretty nice. And you can also, like, toggle whatever. Do you know that it's only updated to 1.19.2? I haven't really updated this version yet into 1.19.3, so your mileage may vary on whether the mods are updated yet or not. But I'm just taking a bit of a week until all the mods update, and then I'll update at 1.19.3. I mean, it's a pretty nice sort of, like, minor update anyway. I'm also kind of glad that Mojang is finally doing some minor updates to improve the major versions of, like, the last major versions, I guess, of each game, of the game, I guess. Difference between 1.19.2 and 0.3, I mean, it's still part of the major update 1.19, however, there's a lot of bug fixes, a lot of, like, one of the major bug fixes that apparently, was a bug apparently for 1.19.2 is that you cannot, like, block explosions with a shield, which is pretty yikes. So that's been fixed in 1.19.3. That you're able to, like, also equip saddles onto horses without having to open their bloody inventory and all that stuff. So that's also been added in 1.19.3. The new Vex texture's been added. Also, like, a lot of other changes also been added, I guess, in terms of also the creative inventory has been changed to be a little bit more intuitive, and also adds operator items for the first time as well. So that's really, really cool. So there's, like, a lot of, like, significant changes, but it's probably, again, it's still a minor update. It's not a huge update. But it's, like, a nice sort of quality of life changes that are probably well needed in some ways. I don't have any orange blocks left, but then again, I don't really need more orange blocks, so we should be fine over here. So yeah, 1.19.3 is actually full of, like, interesting quality of life fixes, which is pretty nice. So I'm glad that, like, Mojang is focusing again on, like, doing some added minor updates to like the major versions of Minecraft, because that just adds it a little bit of, like, extra fresh sort of changes to, like, the game, I guess. So that's pretty good. It might be a nightmare for modders, but it's pretty good for vanilla players still. At least everyone's able to, like, get a little bit of extra content between major versions, which is pretty cool. Okay, how in the bloody hell do I split this into multiple buildings? This looks very, very interesting to work with. I might have to like tackle that for next stream, I guess, because my brain is just not working today. Modders are still adding mods to 1.12. I mean, people would have a preference between what major mod version or what version of Minecraft they want to work on mods for. I know there's like a lot of modders still working on 1.16 and 1.12, so the mileage may vary depending on what mods you want to work on. But yeah, it depends on like also the mods. More like very like gameplay intensive change mods, or yeah, very like what's the word? Like major mod packs are very big. Mods that require like a lot of rewrites whenever a new version comes out would usually just stick to one version anyway. So that's to be expected. But a lot of minor like mods or performance mods would have to be updated to like the latest version. So yeah, it depends on what modded Minecraft scene you want to work on, but usually I just want to focus on the latest version anyway, which is perfectly fine. 𝗏𝗏, if that's how to pronounce your name. How you doing, by the way, 𝗏𝗏? Welcome to the Fox Army. Hope your day's been doing pretty well. Anyway, I'm gonna call it for today, because it is not boiling hot, but it's warm in this stupid bloody room, and I need to get some, like, rest and, get ready for, like, an appointment in, like, 2 hours, which is lovely. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time for another, hardcore stream on Monday. I don't have a stream tomorrow, so see you guys on Monday, and, that's all I can really say about that. If you want to see more of these wacky streams or get notified immediately when the next stream goes live, join the very wacky Discord server that's in the chat right now, because if you don't join the wacky Discord server, I will break your kneecaps in Minecraft. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Be nice, be chill, and I'll I really don't know how to do an outro anymore. I'll hope to see you guys in another stream later on in the future, and yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday again. So this is the outro for the VOD viewers, to those who are watching on the VODs. Join the wacky Discord server if you haven't, or else I'll break your freaking kneecaps. Anyway, that's the outro.